Hello dear students, hope you're all doing fine. Today's lecture is related to the document I've sent you, the activities you are going to do. So this is related to the grammar exercise I've gave you in that document. The lecture is about conditionals in business English. So of course here you know that I know that you have seen conditionals in middle school and in secondary school and maybe even in university, but it is like a reminder. And of course what we are going to focus in is conditionals use in business English context, how we use it, in your context. So let's begin. No. Yes. What are the conditional tenses? Of course, we say conditional or conditional tenses because you know that conditional is all about tenses and how to conjugate, verbs in both if clause or result clause. So the conditional tenses are those that start with an if clause. They start with a condition and finish with a consequence, result, or a result, So of course here the conditional sentence always include two clauses. One is called if clause, which express a condition, and the other, expresses the result of this condition or the consequence. All right? So this is it. Well, here, as you see in examples, here we have the same example, in the four different types of conditional. We have 0, first, second, and third. We have four conditionals, four types. So the first one, if sales increase, we make a profit. Here we are talking, the meaning of the conditional here is general, Why? Because we are here expressing a general truth, and we will see, I'm going to explain each type, apart. Well, here the meaning is general, as I've said, because this is a zero conditional. If sales increase, we will make a profit. Here you see that we have next quarter. Of course, you know that quarter is what we call in Arabic الثلاثي. So, and we know that in a fiscal year, here السنة المالية, as in Arabic السنة المالية يعني تحتوي على 4 ثلاثيات. So this is it. So we have the first quarter, the second quarter, the third quarter, and the fourth quarter. And we know that a quarter is a 3-month period, So we have 3 months, 3 months in each quarter. For example, in a company's, financial calendar or a fiscal year of a government, etc. Here, just to make an example in your context. So here we use the first or type 1 conditional if we are talking about next quarter, of a fiscal year, for example. So if sales increases, we will make a profit. يعني إذا ارتفعت المبيعات سوف تكون هناك يكون هناك مصلحة أو This is what we talk about profit here. ستكون مصلحة أو منفعة لهذه الشركة, or for this government, ولهذه الدولة. Alright? Well, if sales increased, we would make a profit. Also, here we are talking about next quarter. الثلاثي القادم. So the same for first and second conditional. And we have, if sales had increased, we would have made a profit. Here we are talking about something that is, for example, finished, okay, that is has already finished, and we are just like here dreaming about something, or okay, so this is not true, okay, this is unreal, this result is unreal, okay. So here we are talking about last quarter, and you will see, okay, in details each conditional type, okay. So here we have those who are highlighted, okay, with the yellow, okay, it is if clause, and the other one, it is result clause, okay. Next, here we have conditional type 0, okay, where we use conditional type 0, okay, when we talk about general truth, okay. Here when we have logical conclusions, for example, results of our actions, etc. Okay, so these are in general here, general truth, okay. You can find it also in scientific, okay, truth that we know. Well, the formula or the structure of conditional type 0, we have if or when. Here you can use if or when, they are the same, plus verb, okay, verb should be in present tense, present simple tense, and the verb of result clause is also in present tense. So we got present in if clause and present in result clause. Here in example we have, if interest rates rise, our borrowing costs more. So we have the verb rise in present simple of if clause, and we have costs is also in present simple for the result clause. I'm always late for work if there is a rail strike. Here we have I am, here to be is in present, okay. This is the consequence or the result clause. Here we begin with the result clause, then we move to if clause, okay. So you see here the formula is different, okay. Here we have a comma between the two clauses. Here we don't have anything, we have only if between the two clauses, okay. So pay attention here in the structure, okay, in the punctuation when you begin, okay, with if clause or result clause. So as I said, okay, here we have to be in present simple, and here we have is in present simple, okay. So present, present. Next, conditional type 1. Okay, here in conditional type 1, we use this type when we talk about future events that will happen or has a real possibility of happening. Okay, so here we talk about event that will happen, means like here أحداث مستقبلية ستحدث, or has a real possibility of happening, أو يعني ستكون هناك احتمال لهذه الأحداث أن تحدث, okay, in يعني في المستقبل here, in future of course, you're talking about future events, okay. We often use this in business, okay, we use it heavily, okay, in business context. When we are projecting the future, imagine in a meeting, for example, here you have like an example about your business English context. Imagine in a meeting you are making plans and making certain assumptions about the results of the actions you make or take as a business, okay? Here as a business worker or businessman or whatever, okay? So here you can use conditional type 1, okay? You are using conditional type 1. So the formula or the structure of this type, we have if plus the verb should be conjugated in present simple, this is if clause, and for the main clause or for the result clause we have will plus verb stem. Okay, here if clause, of course, you know, verb should be in present simple. This is okay. And we have will. We know that future simple, the structure of future simple, we have will plus verb stem. While stem is the infinitive without to. This is a stem. For example, you have the verb to write. Write is the stem, okay, of the verb to write. So here we omit only the to of infinitive, and you get a stem, okay, a verb stem. So if the product is successful in China, okay, we will introduce it into other Asian markets. Here in the if clause we have the verb is, okay, in present simple, and we have will introduce in future simple. We have will plus stem here, okay. So this is conditional type 1. We also use the first conditional for situations where the possibility of something happening is not high, often when it is ironic, or it is like something that ironic here means that سخرية, okay, السخرية يعني من شخص, or okay. So here you can use conditional type 1, okay. This is a specific situation. Here we have an example to make it clearer. If Simon manages to get this deal by the end of today, I will invite you here. Will, okay, we are just this is just a contracted form of will. I will invite the entire team to a 5-course dinner. Well, it means that okay, in Arabic يعني إذا استطاع سايمون أن ينظم أو أو نقول أوكي إذا استطاع سايمون أو تمكن سايمون أوكي من أخذ هذه الصفقة أوكي في نهاية اليوم سأدعوكم إلى عشاء جماعي متكون من 5 أطباق. So this is it. Here we have like an ironic sense, okay, because they know that Simon is not going to get this deal, so they are just okay kidding. Okay, this is what we call ironic, okay, أو سخرية هنا. All right. So this is only a specific context here when we use conditional type 1. Well, next, okay, we have conditional type 2. Okay, we use conditional type 2, okay, in a situation when we refer to future events that are unlikely to happen or impossible, okay, to happen. We also call this the imaginary future. We use this tense to imagine and dream of a future that is different to our present. So here we have structure, if plus verb in past simple. We get in the result, okay, we have would plus verb stem. So here you see that, okay, conditional type 2, here we are talking about something that's unreal, okay, or imaginary, or we are dreaming about something, okay. يعني هنا نتكلم عن حقائق لا وجود لها عن أحلام, okay. So if Mary spoke better English, she would apply for a job abroad. Here the example we have, if Mary spoke, here spoke is in past simple, okay. This is if clause, and the result clause here, she would apply, okay. This is the verb in result clause. So here, if Mary spoke better English, here Mary, okay, doesn't speak better English, okay. This is only a dream or only an imaginary future. Okay, she would apply for a job abroad. Nice. Next. Well, conditional type 2. Okay, consider here you have like any examples, okay, in your context in business English. Consider the question, what changes would you like to make in the way you work? So here you are just imagine, okay, some future imaginary facts. Here you could start with sentences, for example. If it was or were up to me, I would create more open plan spaces. Okay, if I had more time, for example, I would do something, or okay, I would, don't know, learn a language. Or if money wasn't an option, I would, for example, something. Here you have to think, okay, here are just examples, okay, when you could use conditional type 2. If cash flow wasn't so tight, I would invest more in business, for example. We use this tense for our dreams, for the changes we want to make in our business or through our professional lives. So here, this is why we are talking about dreams here. Okay, we want to change something. We dream to change something. Okay, especially here in your business, okay, context and professional lives, in your workplace. Well, here the third and the last type of conditional is conditional type 3. When we talk about past events that are different from what really happened, we use the third conditional. This is also known as the imaginary past. So in the conditional type 2, it is imaginary future, but here we have imaginary past, okay? This is often used to express regret and sometimes criticism. Here we have regret, ندمت على شيء فعلته يعني في الماضي، أو criticism هي الانتقاد، okay? النقد. So structure or the formula of conditional type 3, we have if. In the if clause, the verb should be conjugated in past perfect. And you know that past perfect is, okay, here normally I added the form, okay, I just forgot to add the form. The form of past perfect is had plus past participle of the verb. Had with all, okay, with all pronouns, okay, we use had plus the past participle of the verb. This is past perfect. And in the result clause, we have would plus have plus past participle. Okay, would have, the two plus past participle. So here we have three, okay, elements, okay, to use in the result clause. Example here, if you had informed the client of the delay in time, he wouldn't have cancelled the order, but you didn't, so he cancelled it. Well, here the meaning in Arabic, here we say in Arabic, إذا كنت قد أخبرت الزبون أو العميل بالتأخير في الوقت المحدد، okay, لم يكن فلن يكون قد ألغى الطلب، يعني have cancelled the order. So this is what we call the regret here or criticism, okay, but you didn't, okay, so he cancelled it لأنك لم تخبره، okay, هو ألغى الطلب. You see the condition and the result clause. This is conditional type 3, okay, and the context in which we use it. Another example, we wouldn't have made that decision if we had known about the software problems. So here we have the main clause, okay, wouldn't have, of course here we have this note of negative, okay, but we have wouldn't have made that decision if we had known about the software here we say in Arabic لم نكن so here لم نكن لنتخذ هذا القرار okay إذا كنا نعلم بمساوئ أو بمشاكل هذا البرنامج okay software problem here logiciel problem in okay the software problem in the software here مشاكل okay هذا البرنامج alright so this is all about conditional type 3 okay it's all about imaginary past okay when you regret or you criticize someone okay about also the past. Well, thank you so much for your kind attention okay and of course you know that it has a relation with that activity of conditional. I hope you got okay all the rules of conditional and see you next time. Thank you.